Morning YouTube, and ain't it a gorgeous morning. Saturday it's supposed to be Tea Fest at Lings Norfolk Triumph. That has been cancelled as an event, but they're still doing test rides. So I am out on the TriumphTiger 900 Rally Pro. This one's in black. Not going to go into all the specs. There's lots of videos out there already going into all the specs and detailed stuff. Lots of slick productions from the official test rides. So this is my first thoughts on the bike. I've had it about 15-20 minutes now and I ain't got long. I've only got an hour because they're booked up with it. So we'll get on the bike and get cracking. Not going to be too long. First impressions only, not a review. One thing I should say before we set off, I've moved the mic in my lid. The video I did the other day with this new Sena Prism Tube, I thought the voice recording was awful. Tried it again this morning just inside the cheek piece, half in half out almost. Still didn't change anything, so it's tucked right inside the cheek piece now, so we'll see if it helps with some of the wind noise and distortion. Failing that, I've got one more thing to try, the old latex glove finger and a little muffler. And we'll see how it goes, but anyway, let's get cracking. Massive TFT screen on this. Lots of different modes. We're currently in sport. Let's just change that to road. There we go. One thing I'm not keen on, this switch gear here, the menu switch is there, and then the toggle switch is underneath the indicators, so it's a bit of a pain in the arse. I think they'd have been better off putting the toggle switch at higher up, or maybe the indicator switch at the top here, and then the menu and then the toggle. Other people might like it. It's just proving a bit fiddly to me. Anyway, let's get going. Quick shifter is standard on this bike, very slick as it was on the Explorer, well, the new Tiger 1200, not the Explorer now, and it feels good. I have to say, it feels a slightly more substantial bike than the outgoing Tiger 800. The seating position is set on the lower seat position at the minute, and it feels quite comfy for me. I'm 6'1", I can get both feet flat on the ground. I used to have my seat on the Explorer, my Mark 1 Explorer, on high. I think this seating position on these Rally Pros is a bit higher than that anyway. We have got a lot of wind today. The screen windshield is manually adjustable. You can do it on the move, pretty easy. I think once you get some speed up, you're getting a bit of pressure, so it's a little bit more difficult to move around. One thing I have noticed at sort of cruising speeds and motorway speeds, so 60-70 mile an hour, I'm getting quite a lot of vibes through the pegs. I'm not going to get a chance to go on a motorway today, not properly, so it's difficult to get a full feeling for that, but there are quite a few vibes going through it, which could be quite intrusive, I think, on a long run, but who knows, they might smooth out. Obviously this is a brand new bike, they've only got it this week, and today is the first day of test rides and I'm the second person out on it. Woohoo! And it's a gorgeous day for it. I was going to take out a Street Triple 765 as well, but I'm not sure if it's available. I think it's booked up. But anyway, see what they've got when we get back. But back to this, yeah, all the usual stuff. So heated grips, heated seats. It's got engine bars, the TFT screen with shed loads of modes on it. And what else? Stay there. Spoked wheels, which are now tubeless rims. The exhaust note has definitely changed from the 800. It is more twin sounding, low down, and it's quite nice. Lots and lots of usable power through the rev range. Whenever I get to this roundabout and turn left, I always seem to get behind a bloody big truck. Every time. Yes, stood still here on both feet flat on the floor. Dead easy. Not sure if these indicators are self-cancelling. I don't think they are, or if they are, they haven't got it switched on this bike for some reason. So yeah, we're now 60 mile an hour, just under 60, and I'm just starting to get some vibes through my feet. It has got rubber inserts on the foot pegs on this, which, unlike the old XCA, had the old off-roady type foot pegs. Brakes are good. The brakes feel so responsive after my VFR, which is obviously an old bike, and it needs some fettling, but the brakes do feel really good. Front are now Brembo radial calipers. Not sure what's on the rear, I'm guessing Brembo, but I think it's probably a 2-pot Brembo. Loads of power. It's got plenty of power. You don't need any more than this for an adventure bike. Feels very responsive. And what I'm going to do when I cut down, we're on the A134 here from Munford to Stepford, but I'm going to turn left up through the forestry and onto the back roads away from some of this traffic. I'm not getting any buffeting. I haven't got a peaked lid on at the minute. I've got just a normal HJC full face lid. I'm not getting any buffeting off this screen whatsoever in any position. There's a little bit more wind noise in different positions, but not buffeting. There's quite a bit of turbulent air at the minute anyway behind this van and truck. The seating position really is nice. This seat feels ever so comfy already. I think you could do distance on this, so long as the vibes aren't too intrusive. Suspension feels really plush. On the move it feels well balanced and light. I haven't done much slow speed at the minute, so I don't know how we can compare with the likes of the Africa Twin and even the GS, because I mean it's a much bigger bike, obviously, the GS 1200, but it's just so well balanced, and the CAG's so low, as everybody is aware with that bike. Let's turn left here, because there's a bloody sheep trailer up in front and all. Bloody hell. Unless you're an absolute speed demon, and let's face it, if you are, you're not going to be looking at this bike, then you absolutely do not need more power than this thing. Whatever magic Triumph have worked with this engine, it's good. By heck, it's got some shove low down. Really has got a lot of shove, a lot more than the 800 had. And with that quick shifter as well, it feels so sharp and ready to go. It feels good, really, really good. I think it'd be interesting to get a longer test ride. So, because we haven't got any motorways here in Norfolk, we've got some dual carriageways, but to get to them from Leeds, you're talking a 20-minute ride anyway. So you're only going to get a maximum of 20 minutes on there before you need to think about going back if you've only got it for an hour. Oh, it feels good, it feels good. We might have a new favourite. The thing is, these days there's so bloody many good bikes out there. I think whatever you choose, adventure bike wise, you're probably not going to be disappointed, because you're going to go for the one that you really like anyway. And you'll be happy with it. Looks wise, I mean, the one you like looks wise, and then with the price of these things anyway, you're mad if you don't have a test ride first. But I think you could ride any of the modern adventure bikes. This one, the Africa Twin, the GS850, in this sort of middleweight category, Tenere 700. They've all got the plus points and not many negative points. I think the Tenere 700 probably is a little bit more oriented towards doing more off-road, so if that's your thing, go for that. And then the others like this and the Africa Twin will do more of both, so to speak. And I think this one certainly is geared up to do lots of road miles, and then if you want to go off-road it'll do it as well. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be unmanageable. It don't feel really top heavy or unbalanced or anything like that, because I know that the Africa Twin and the Tenere 700 are really well balanced, especially low speed. And this one actually is pretty good as well. There's a little bit too much clutch travel for me at low speed in the low gear, in first gear. You're letting it out quite a long way before there's any biting. Seems to be a quirk with a lot of new bikes, which is it's a shame really. I think it would be handy, you've got more control if it bites sooner, but that's just my preference. Anyway, it is a bit of a ramble, I'm afraid. It's not a proper review. I don't do reviews on these test rides because I haven't got the bike long enough. But it feels really good. The first impressions are really, really, really positive. I think it's definitely improvement over the 800. Some people will not like the fact that there isn't that triple noise, not like it used to be anyway, the triple howl. You've got more of a lumpy sound to the engine and exhaust notes, but they've done it for a reason, aren't they? You know, they're trying to compete in this adventure bike market where people do take their middleweight adventure bikes off-road. Obviously I don't get to do that on a test ride, but certainly from all the reviews coming out, they sound very, very positive. And the spec you get with this thing compared to the likes of the Africa Twin and the Tenere 700, with this one it's a top range model, so you do get all the kit with this one, but the spec is huge. Heated grips, heated seats, luggage if you want it, engine bars, cruise control, massive TFT screen, loads and loads of rider modes. One of the things I do like about the Tenere is that it's back to basics, and it is simple, and there's less to go wrong in the long term, and I think that's a good thing. It does worry me a little bit with these modern bikes how much tech they're now relying on, and whilst it works, that's bloody brilliant, because it is really good kit. It helps you ride the bike better, I think, and there's lots of safety aids, and they're all great while they work, but once this bike's out of warranty, if those things start going wrong, this applies again to all the bikes ranges, not just Triumph, whatever you get with all this tech on, BMW, the new Honda, Africa Twin, the really new one, if stuff starts going wrong out of warranty, it's going to be an expensive fix. So there's plus and minus for it. On the plus side, yeah, it's really good kit when it's working. On the minus, longevity wise, but you could say that these bikes are aimed at people who are going to change every few years anyway, I suppose, and a lot of people do, don't they? You know, we use these bikes as toys really, and once the 3 or 4 years is up, it's on to the next new shiny gadget. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I've been waffling a while and I don't want to go on too long. So it's just a first impressions of the new Tiger 900 Rally Pro. Bit of a godful, isn't it? TriumphTiger 900 Rally Pro, top spec model, and first impressions are seriously bloody good. Get out and ride one before they stop us from going out and riding, because I think it's coming. There's going to be a lockdown. Bloody coronavirus, eh? Anyhow, sun's out. Get out and ride. See you later. Hey up again. Now, I just thought I'd do a quick add-on to the video I've just done on the TriumphTiger 900 Rally Pro. Just some afterthoughts really. Back on the VFR. And obviously I've not mentioned specs and stuff, and I'm not really going to go into all them. There's plenty of stuff that you can find out spec wise, and there's lots of other reviewers that do that, or reviewers. Not a review, is it? Just a test ride. Well, one thing I didn't cover was that obviously the Rally Pro is the more off-road oriented version of the Tiger with the 21-inch front wheel, and I wanted to compare it to some other bikes that I've ridden with a 21-inch front, which is the Africa Twin and the Tenere 700, which are bloody good bikes. I've not ridden the new Africa Twin 1100, I've just ridden the Africa Twin 1000, both the standard one and the Rally Adventure Sports, which is the really tall one. And with the standard one, I noted when I rode it, it felt alright. The handling didn't feel overly different to other adventure bikes. The Adventure Sports did, it felt really tall, and it certainly felt different when you turned into corners and stuff like that, as did the Tenere 700. You could really tell the difference when you were dropping into corners. With this Tiger 900, I didn't notice any of that. It felt absolutely planted, and I did some quite spirited riding after I turned the camera off through the bends, and it just tips in beautiful, and it feels composed, didn't get out of shape. I'm sure better riders than I am could get it feeling out of shape, but for my riding it didn't. It felt superb. As I say, really planted, really safe handling wise, tips in nice, felt steady in the bend, just really sorted, really well sorted. And I'm sure once you tinker with the suspension some more and set it up to your own weight and etc., it's just going to get even better. And you couple that with the engine, holy moly, that engine, whatever magic they've worked in it, they've absolutely nailed it for me. There are some vibes, got a little bit of tingle through the foot pegs, as I said, at sort of 60, 70. I don't know if they'll appear through the handlebars as they did on my Explorer, but who knows. But nothing too intrusive. But really the engine is just so good. There's tons and tons of power wherever you need it. Low down is superb. The roll-on power in sixth at sort of 60 mile an hour is plenty. Yes, there are bikes that will do a lot more, but if you really want a lot more than that, then you're not going to be, as I said, you're not going to be looking at a 900. You're going to be looking at things like the KTM Super Adventure at 1290, is it, something like that, or maybe the Ducati Multistrada. You're not going to be looking at 800s and 900s if massive power is your bag. But if you're looking at a middleweight adventure bike, and I've ridden pretty much all of them now apart from the KTM 790 and the new Africa Twin 1100, I'll give that, but certainly as far as the others go, the Africa Twin 1000, the GS 800 and 850, the old Tiger 800, the Tenere 700, I'm afraid that this Tiger 900 engine blows them all into the weeds. For me, that's my opinion. It just knocks spots off them all. The new Africa Twin 1100 I've yet to ride. That might be comparable. I've heard it's now doing more low down and mid range wise, and feels a bit pokier. So I'll have to see. I'll have to take one out. But really, they have nailed it with this engine. It'll be interesting to see if there are any teething troubles with it. They often are with new bikes, and they have made a lot of changes, so you never know. But Triumph generally do chuck out good bikes that don't have too many niggles, and I don't see any reason why this is going to be any different to that really. It's just a good bike. Comfort feels better than the old outgoing 800, certainly better than the Tenere 700, which obviously is more off-road oriented. On a par with the Africa Twin, yeah, easily, probably better if I'm honest. And you've got to chuck into that hat that it's got all the gadgets. Certainly the Rally Pro has got all the gadgets as standard. Price wise, I think it's just shy of 14 grand, and I priced one up on the configurator with just some panniers, and I think it came out at 14.1 or 14.2, with the panniers, but you get all the gadgets for that. If you want to get an Africa Twin and you want it to compete with the Rally Pro off-road, I think you're probably going to be looking at the standard version, and you don't get, I think you get heated grips but nothing else. You don't get heated seats, you don't get you do get cruise control now, you don't get engine bars, I don't think you get an adjustable screen. What else is there? You don't get tubeless tyres, you have to go with the Adventure Sports for that. So it is a good all-round package on the face of it. As I say, I will ride the 1100 Africa Twin and see what that's like, but it's going to have to be some kind of bike to be better as an all-round package than this Tiger 900. So it is really good. If you're interested, go and test ride one. And if you're in Norfolk, Lings, Norfolk, Triumph at Watton, they're really good. Don't get paid by them, I don't like that, but or get preferential treatments or discounts, but they are good. They're good guys. And get out there while we're still able to get out and ride. Where are you going? Pick a lane. Any lane will do. So once I've got round this bit of roundabout, I'll turn you off. Actually, I might just sneak down the side because he's going to be a while. Not very easier. Right, so yeah, I'll turn off now. Just some final thoughts really on the 900 Rally Pro. It's a cracking bike. I'll get this on and hopefully the sound's not so bad that you can't hear what I'm saying, because it's turned bloody windy now. Anyway, there we go. Get out, ride your bikes, ride safe, keep washing them hands. See you later.